Now, here's the interesting thing about Lazar.
Yeah.
I'm up at work.
Yeah.
All right. Now, the way the situation was, we had a group of civilian contractors. We had a component of the military.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had GS supervision, and then we had United States Air Force supervision. All right, that's how everything was layered. I mean, it was amazing the complicated things they did on the simplest of things. I mean, so we wake up in we're sitting there after dinner, and we came from the mess hall, and we're sitting around in this game room, this hooch that we're sitting at, and we're watching the news, and George Knapp comes on, and he's this thing he's talking about Lazar.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you ever saw the one there. I guess they're in a vehicle or something, and they're talking, and you can't see Lazar's face.
Oh, he's in silhouette, and he's calling himself Dennis. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's the one that was on the TV, and so me and the GS supervisor looked at one another, and I said, I won't use this guy's name because I think he's still alive. But anyway, I says, hey, I says, why don't we go over? I says, you got the key to the badge office. I says, why don't we go in there, get the EAL out, the entry authorization list, because we were all looking at each other, and we said, do you know anyone named Lazar? No one knew anyone named Lazar. So, and that was our business, aside from, I can't get into the details of, but we knew everything about everybody. So anyway, so we went over to the badge office, got the EAL. Now, these were in secured building inside of a secured vault. We get this list out, open it up, go through the list, alphabetical. There's no listing for a Lazar. All right. Now that was the weekly EAL, because it varied by the week. So then you go get the historical EAL, which is everything from the last week to the beginning of time, real thick printout. We went in there, looked in the historical, because we said we want to get to the historical EAL before anyone can come in and dip it, and redact something.
Yeah.
We want to see. We were curious, because we knew if this guy became a hot item, they would just go in and probably take his name out of the EAL.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to see anyone corrupting our information. It was like 45 minutes later, we were looking at the list. No historical record of an individual named Lazar.
Yeah.
So we looked at each other and says he's a complete fake. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because our EAL.
Did the EAL have real names, or was it?
Oh yeah, it's all real names.
Yeah.
I mean, each individual, a good paragraph on each one of them. So.
Oh, okay.
Very detailed. Anyway, so. So at that time, and another thing, our EAL was the master. It had staffing for Site 4 on there. All right, so anyone who had access to Site 4, not necessarily had access to our location, but we had access to Site 4, but they didn't have access to our location. Our location was more of a priority than Site 4. So, and so we had the data on all the individual Site 4. he didn't show up on Site 4. All right, so
Okay.
anyway.
So Site 4, that was a radar installation in Tonopah Test Range, is that right?
Yeah, that's all it is. Foreign technology. Yeah.
And I used to have
Mm-hmm.
Russians radar and all that sort of stuff to test the signatures of the planes that used to fly.
Yeah, that just I think that's pretty much what has been published about the place, and that's probably the truth. Without, I got to be very careful, and I don't want to be. And I'm being truthful. I don't want to be quoted directly on any of this stuff because it's possible it still might be sensitive.
So Site 4, there was no Site 4 at Papoose Lake.
At the what?
So you, in terms of Site, Bob Lazar claimed that there was a Site 4 at Papoose Lake.
Oh, he claimed that Site 4 was a place that existed on the opposite side of the hill at Papoose Lake.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here to tell you that the only thing at Papoose Lake is a dry lake.
Did you ever go to Papoose Lake?
At Papoose?
Yeah, did you ever go?
Oh, there wasn't a piece of real estate, a building that I didn't go into or have access to.
Okay.
I was cleared above. Well, anyway.
Yes.
There was. I will tell you this. There was an installation. It was used rarely. People would come, and we would activate this device, and we would test things.
So there was some kind of device at Papoose Lake that you would activate sometimes.
So, anyways, without getting into specifics,
yeah,
this place had a very, very limited authorization. The letter, okay, I saw the letter because I used to carry the letter and on the letter was the list of names.
Yeah.
The list of names was like 60 names. These are the people entirety whose names was on, who had access to this program, who could be in this particular building.
Oh, okay. Can you speak can you speak about what the building's purpose was in roundabout ways or general ways?
Well, it had to do with just call it electronic warfare. That's all.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with Moon Man or anything like that. And I'm sure that stuff.
Yeah. So Bob basically said that there was a UFO base built into the side of the hill there on the east side of Papoose Lake.
Yeah.
Did you ever go into that area where he claimed there was that installation?
Absolutely, yes.
And there was
on the if you have an aerial map of the place,
yeah.
If you look to the range of mountains that is just it would be just east of the P1 lake bed.
Yeah.
All right.
P1's what you call Papoose, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. P1. Yeah. So the P1 lake bed. If you see the mountain range, you can see there's a little dirt road that comes around the lower south side of that mountain range and then intersects about in the middle of P1 lake bed.
Okay.
That's where we had a little shoot don't shoot house built there. It had all walls and rooms and stuff where you could walk through it, and we did live fire in that facility too.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where we had that set up right in there. So that's the only thing that happened in P1 Lake Bed. And it was you know,
no hidden base in the side of the hill there.
No, and the actual boundary between the two different areas, or whatever you want to just arbitrary line in the sand, if you will, ran right through the middle of P1 lake bed. So,
okay.
You know, more just a little bit to the west of the middle of the P1 lake bed was the actual boundary line that separated. So that was like no man's land between, because they wanted to have complete isolation between the programs that were over there versus the programs that were on our side. So
was Papoose, did they have any radiation issues? I noticed that on the west side, over the range on the west side, was one of the main nuclear testing sites. So was there any radiation issues at Papoose?
You know, I'm going to have to say, I don't think that there was other than now, you know, it's different. You know, it's, when you talk about that place, you got to understand there was over 100 airburst detonations of nuclear devices.
Yep.
All right, that were just to the east of that location, or to the west of that location. All right. Now, when you say, was there any radiation there? Absolutely. Now, was it of the type that would be immediately harmful to you? Probably not. If you were there like we were all the time, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So,
well, what do you think of Bob Lazar's claim that he had this MAJ-12 super clearance?
That's just the biggest load of crap. You know, there are no, you know, now, I'm going to tell you straight out.
Yeah.
There's nothing up there that has to do with anything that has to do with extraterrestrial or anything like that.
Yeah.
Right. You know, the road to get back to that P1 lake bed is atrocious.
Okay.
You could no more get a bus of any type up that road. I mean, there's a couple spots in it that is tough, you know. There's no good maintained road that goes back in there. I mean,
it's an unsealed dirt road, is it?
Yeah, it's a very rough dirt road back in the P1 lake bed.